I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day, there are debates over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today's topic is Asian parent sayings.
Ooh. Now, because we recently celebrated our 50th episode, I just wanted to make note of a little observation that we made.
Yes.
So this episode is our 52nd episode, and if I am not mistaken, there are 52 weeks in a year, which means that we now have one episode a week for an entire year.
Wow.
We have a
Cool.
year's supply, I guess depending on how often you decide to stream, a year's supply of 5 episodes.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did, I don't know if Russian would be the right term, but if you did like a spinning a wheel of 52 episodes, like what kind of episode you would land on. Because we do, all the topics are connected in ways, but they're all very different.
Yes. Different vibes.
Yeah, or different, I don't want to say motivation, but different foundation?
Yeah.
In a way?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of episodes in general and old episodes, we got the idea for this episode, Asian Parents Saying, from a pretty old episode actually that we did comparing Filipino and Chinese culture and just talking about our childhood in a very general sense in terms of like our cultural identity. And we had a little tangent, just a little segment where we compared Tagalog, and I think in the episode we were comparing Cantonese. Yeah. And we were just comparing like popular phrases or like funny sayings and stuff like that. And we wanted to bring back this topic as a little conversation about language and relatable, like hashtag relatable Asian kid moments.
Yes.
Was things that our parents would say to us. And, you know, it's just a little thing where we share with you / each other. And then at the end, you can share with us.
Yeah.
Some Asian parents saying, or sayings in general that you know and love or hate.
Yeah.
And it's all okay.
Yeah. Yeah, generally for just like general parent sayings, in case you guys were wondering what we mean by parent sayings, I think a pretty universal one is back in my day, I had to do X in order to get to school. So it could be back in my day, I had to cross a river to get to school, or back in my day, I had to walk through a storm to get to school. You know, that's a pretty general one.
Yeah, for sure.
Another one is, which I've seen for different groups of people say that like it's specific to their group, but because I've seen it everywhere, it's pretty universal.
Yeah.
This phrase, it's because of your phone. Like,
yeah,
you're sick because of your phone, or your head hurts because of your phone, or like bad grades because of your phone.
Yeah, for sure. That one has been a bit, I don't want to say it's westernized, but it does also exist separately in the Western world as it's because of that damn phone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's written.
Yeah.
Or that's how it's said in memes. But yeah, have you ever had your parents say either of these?
Yeah, I have. Both of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What
Have
did they
you?
say for back in my day to get to school?
Um, it was just like I had to walk really far in like the rain or like floods or stuff like that. Yeah, but then sometimes they would purposefully like make up stuff. And I'd be like, I know you're lying. But yeah. What about you? Oh no.
Fine, I'm nothing happened to me. It's just that there was suddenly like really loud shuffling coming from them from the
Oh,
other room and the floor. We have very creaky floorboards. And it got really loud all of a sudden, and so I just muted it as quickly as possible, just so it's an easier cut, I guess. Or I don't know. For me, I don't think my parents have ever really said the back in my day I had to cross a river or cross a mountain, climb a mountain to get to school. I don't know if it's because they're not aware of people saying that, or it's just because I don't know. I guess they're like a bit more honest.
Hmm.
But the phone one, 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they. I don't know if they've necessarily said it to me, but they've for sure said it about other kids or other people.
Oh yeah.
They'll say like, "Oh, so let's say one of my friends, like say I'm with my parent and a friend and their parent, and they say the friend, they'll say they have a headache, and then usually like the friend's mom will probably make the phone comment, and then maybe one of my parents will make a comment be like, yeah, it must be because of the phone, it's giving you a headache, and it's that and the other thing, which, okay, it's not necessarily untrue that
Hmm.
technology can do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's Zoom fatigue,
Yeah.
there's everything, there's radiation.
Blue light.
Hmm. But it is kind of funny the way that's become a crutch.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally everything is because of that damn phone.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So, in preparation of this episode, we've actually created a list with some pretty common Asian parent sayings.
Top 50.
Yeah. So, on the list here we have let me see, hold on. Let me pull it up for a sec. Um I love you. Tiffany, did you add that one?
Right? Can you say that again? I don't.
I don't know. Maybe I'm pronouncing it. Love you. I've never heard that one. I'm
Yeah, I
unfamiliar
don't.
with
I
that one.
don't know. I think because English is my second language, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I learned that
Mm,
before. I am maybe it's not uncommon, but I've never really heard it said before.
yeah,
Or
I mean, me neither.
I what you?
I don't know. I might be saying it wrong. Please, like, if anyone in the comments, like, let me know. I might be saying that wrong.
Oh,
Love. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, is there anything else? Are
Yeah.
you sure this is our list?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I thought you added these ones. This one says, I'm proud of you. What's that word? I don't know. Proud.
I'm
Proud.
proud.
Is it
What
like
do they mean?
loud?
What do they mean by of you?
I don't know. Uh,
I'm proud of you. I am proud. But
I've
then
never.
of you, I don't think that's grammatically correct.
No,
What do
I've
they
heard
mean
the
by
phrase
of
like
you?
I'm proud, but I don't know. Yeah, that second part's a little.
I
You didn't add that one?
definitely not. I don't
Oh.
know what that huh?
What happened to our list? This is sorry guys, it's a little
Did
weird.
we I think we did we get hacked? I don't
Maybe. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Wait, okay. I think there's one more here. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I mean, this is on the list. This is not, I've never heard an Asian parent say this before. I don't know why this is on the
This
list.
is Asian parents saying I have no idea what the first two are, but then why does it say I'm sorry? Do you think it's the hacker apologizing for hacking us?
Maybe.
Why are they saying I'm sorry?
I don't know. I mean, I guess
Why would
it's
you hack
okay.
and then apologize? Wow.
I mean,
Did you not get what you wanted?
I guess they're sorry that they added some like random words onto our list. Like we don't even know what these mean. Are these supposed to be like insulting or something?
Yeah, is this supposed to be some kind of like sick joke?
I don't know. I think so. Probably like if they had to say sorry after, I guess it must be pretty bad.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, luckily we do have our own separate lists from our own
Thank God we got the backup list.
Yeah. Let's pull those up.
Okay.
I mean,
I have no idea. Where did you even get that from?
I don't know. I
don't
thought that you added these ones.
No, I've never even seen. Okay, but my question is, we have folders for episodes, but then where did you get that from? I don't even see it anywhere.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why would an Asian parent say, I'm sorry? I
don't know how to, I don't even know what that word is. Never heard it.
I can't do this. I don't know what this is.
Me either. Sorry, guys. This is a weird.
Yeah, can you don't delete the file? Because I think you might want to keep it as record that we got hacked.
Yeah, maybe we can like talk to Google
we
or
should.
something.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. Let's just get the backup list. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. Well, so for my Filipino or specifically Tagalog list, I've divided it into two different categories. So I have English phrases, which is pretty specific to like immigrant parents, and Tagalog phrases. So on my English phrases, I brought this up in our comparison episode. I think was it our 4th episode? Yeah, I brought it up in that episode. Basically, it's like close the lights, which is not a correct sentence, but is a very common sentence to hear from Filipino parents or Tagalog parents.
Yeah, same.
I'm pretty sure some stand-up, I think Jokoy like has a whole like giant list of different English phrases that he's heard from his parents or his mom. They're pretty funny. But another English phrase is specifically from your mom: scratch my back or massage my back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but apparently lots of Filipino moms need their backs scratched. Which, you know what?
That's a funny thing to have in common for everyone.
Yeah. See, I didn't realize that it like was, but then when I was younger, I found this Instagram account. I'm pretty sure it doesn't exist anymore, but it was basically like common Filipino parent sayings specific to like for first gen kids in North America. And scratch my back was one of them. And I was like, whoa, this isn't just me.
That is very interesting. I know we've mentioned it before, but I really do appreciate to a certain extent when you see Asian meme pages or just maybe a group of people or just someone on their own talking about an experience, and then you find out that you haven't been the only one experiencing it in your entire life.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah.
especially in like this situation.
I've heard people say in the comment sections of pages like this, where they're like, I've never had an original experience, or I've never had an original thought. All of you, yeah. It's a funny way of looking at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Tagalog phrases. One is manang mana sa insert parent mo. So that means like you're just like your parent, or you're just like your mom, or you're just like your dad. So, you know, in my experience, I'll do something like snarky to my mom or like sarcastic, and my mom will be like, manang mana sa tatay mo, you know, like you're just like your dad. Another one is sige. So this is just like it's almost like a threat. It's like, do it. Sige, go, do it. I'm sure lots of Filipino
People
kids
are
out there.
shuddering in the audience.
Yeah, people are like, oh God, you said the word. Like, usually it's like if you're especially when you're younger, if you're like acting up, which I never did, but like I know this is like a situation. If you're like acting up, and your mom just looks at you and goes, sige, watch what happens, you know, like that kind of.
Like, go ahead, go on, do it. Okay.
Yeah, it's very like almost like a threat. Pretty common. Yeah. What about you? What are some phrases from your backup list?
Yeah, the backup list, because our original list got corrupted.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because we did not have a backup list.
Yeah.
We should start doing that though.
Yeah, considering that we had this weird random list of that's weird.
Are you sure your computer didn't get a virus? Because I've never seen this list before.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I wouldn't say I'd think it's a virus, because why would they say I'm sorry after? I don't think bots can do that. It's probably a hacker or something.
That's true. If you're the hacker and you're listening in the audience, can you just send us a little message? We won't hurt you. We just want to fix it.
Yeah, we don't
want an explanation.
Yeah, just like explain to us what that is all about. Is this a threat? Like, we don't even know what you're trying to say.
What do you want from us? Why are you saying that you're proud of us?
Yeah, like what? Or like you loathe you? I loathe you? I don't know.
Yeah, why are you saying stuff like that? It's very, I don't know. I'm kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyways, Chinese saying, I guess parent saying. I've probably mentioned this before, but a kind of funny and interesting thing about Chinese people is that idioms and sayings are a huge part of everyday life or everyday conversation. And so, I mean, I guess it's not that different from English, because we do have sayings that are kind of integrated. But then when people say it's raining cats and dogs, like, that's not a very out of the ordinary thing to say. But the thing with Chinese people is that they will drop an idiom just anywhere, just to spice up a little a sentence or a statement, kind of like the meme where it's like add a little bit of spice. Or if you were to see a video of someone just gently putting salt over something, kind of like a few years ago.
Salt Bay?
Yeah, Salt Bay. Yeah. And it's interesting because someone will say something or someone will notice something, and then someone else will be like, well, you know what they say, or like, well, insert saying. And it's not even, it doesn't even always have to be like that. Sometimes someone will just say something. For example, there's this one saying that isn't necessarily a parent saying. It can be, but I won't strictly label it as that.
Hmm.
In Cantonese, it's "sui go ngap pui," which is water over like a duck's
Oh,
back, or like,
yeah.
I mean, this one is relatively universal. I think there's many versions of it in different
Yeah, I've
languages.
heard that one.
But people, I don't know, it's just that in my experience, the thing with Chinese people is that they don't, I mean, not that other people do, but they don't hesitate to just insert an idiom.
Mm.
And so they was like, you're never listening to me. It's just like water going, like, it's just like "sui go ngap pui." And
Mm.
people would just say that. But I don't think if you were speaking in English, you would say something like that, because then it would make your statement less serious sounding.
Mm.
It's like if you were actually mad about the weather, I mean, some people might, but if you were really mad about the rain, you wouldn't be like, I can't believe this. I'm so pissed off. It's raining cats and dogs. Like, it kind of just makes your statement sound a little silly, right? And so the thing with a lot of Chinese parents, like a decent amount of them, is that they'll sprinkle these idioms, and then they'll teach it to their kids in this very funny way, where they'll be like, so do you know this phrase, insert phrase, and the kid will be like, no. And then
No.
no. I don't know where that voice came from. Yeah. The truth is I'm actually a voice actor.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's where that's how we started this podcast.
Yeah.
This is a side project for me.
Yeah, we've
while I
never
work on my
talked in our
main
real
career.
voices.
Mm-hmm. And so the kid will say no. I can't unhear what I just said. And then the parent will go on this long tangent about the idiom, talking about what it means, why people say it, or where it came from. And it becomes a whole thing.
A lesson.
A life lesson, which is also kind of a thing that Asian parents do. Where they just randomly give you a life lesson.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, you know what this reminds me of? And then they'll say, and then just like, you just go back 3 years.
Yeah.
Or 30 years.
Back in my day.
Exactly. When we had to cross bridges to get to school. And so the parent goes on this long tangent, and it happens often. For example, in my experience, most dinners, or just like most larger meals together, I will probably be taught an idiom. And I mean, I appreciate it because I'm learning about a new idiom, obviously, in my own culture. But then at the same time, the frequency at which it's all coming makes it hard for you to remember it in general, even if even if it's not a fluency problem. Because for me, I grew up speaking Cantonese because my parents didn't know English, so at home it was just Cantonese. And even then, them just constantly telling me idioms, I would not necessarily remember a lot of them unless it was said often enough, or unless it was very significant, whether that meant that the meaning was super significant or the way it sounded for some reason just stuck in my brain. Because I don't know, maybe the way it was said was had something unique about it, or I just personally found it fun to say or something along those lines. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a meme that Chinese people sprinkle idioms into their day-to-day conversation.
Spice it up.
Exactly. Because I know, and this does also happen with Chinese people, but I know, for example, in English, sometimes if people are too, what's the word? I don't know. They add too many of these types of comparisons in the language. People might think they're pretentious, and people do have this issue as well among Chinese people. I guess the limit, or maybe the minimum or where the bar is for when someone when someone decides that someone seems pretentious is a little higher than in English.
Mhm.
Kind of like when people purposely use big words to, I
Yeah.
don't know, assert dominance over someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have a favorite or a super memorable phrase that you've ever heard growing up?
I guess I don't know. My instinct was to say sige because it's a threat, and I just remember that. Like hearing that just brings like flashbacks, because even like scrolling through like Instagram or TikTok, and I'll see someone doing a little skit pretending to be a Filipino mom, and I hear sige, I'm already like, oh, what's going on? Maybe I'm just trained like that. But I guess in that case, that's the most memorable. What about you?
It's funny you asked me that because for some reason I'm blanking right now. I don't know. I think part of it is because idioms or sayings are such a huge part of my life in a way, or it's such a common thing that I can't exactly pinpoint a saying right now. I guess if we were to actually no, I was gonna say something along the lines of if we were to talk about things more closely to close to light, and I was gonna suggest something, but I'm not sure. There's just so many of them, and they're so common to the point where sometimes my brain doesn't register them as saying.
Yeah, like it's just something that is said. It's not really like.
Yeah, sometimes some of these sayings or idioms are very literal. So you could, if you didn't know them, then you would just think, oh, they just said this. Okay, taking it at face value.
There is one saying that I do remember. There's a story attached to it. But this is more of slang, like a slang word. Technically, it's a slang word. It's just sus Yosef, which basically I heard my cousin saying it a lot, and I thought it was really funny. It was just like one of those like exclamation words. So like something happened, you'd say it. And I started saying it, and the first time I said it in front of my mother, she was like, "What are you saying? What did you just say?" And I was like, what does, I don't know what it means. What does it mean? It just is fun to say. And that is when I found out that it's literally just Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, but condensed. Sus from Jesus, Mary, obviously, and Yosef or Osef from Joseph.
And so this is a Tagalog or like a Tagalog English kind of thing?
I don't know for sure. I will say that in terms of like slang, I don't really have an accurate knowledge of like what's said where. I think this is a general just like Filipino saying, well, like specific to like if you're like Catholic or something, because Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, which I also didn't know that that was an English saying, like but yeah, that's the direct Filipino version, just condensed name. Yeah,
this is
like exclamation.
Somewhat related and unrelated because you were saying that your mom was like, "What are you saying?"
Yeah.
Growing up, gosh, so curse word, right?
Yes.
My parents sometimes they would say these things, and it would involve curse words, like Cantonese curse words or something. And I didn't know they were curse words. I just thought it was, this is gonna sound silly, but you have to bear in mind that I was a child.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were curse words. I just thought they were more strong adjectives.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I also did this.
A lot of the time, I thought they just meant very. Instead of, effing or this, that, and the other thing. And so I remember I would repeat, not repeat what they said, but I would say something that maybe they had said in the past. And then they would go, wait, what did you just say? And I would go, insert phrase. And they'd be like, who taught you that? Where did you learn that from? As if they don't usually say it. I remember there were one time there was I think I was saying that something looked bad, and I said something like, oh, so this looks insert that curse word per se was kind of a substitute for very. And so I probably said something like, oh, like this is so freaking ugly. And for some reason my parents were taken aback. They're like, well, what? And for some reason they tried to pinpoint on my cousin, which made no sense because my cousin didn't even know Cantonese. But yeah, they're like, you must did insert name teach this to you? Where did you learn this from? What are you saying? I was like, I heard you say it.
You literally used it yesterday.
Or something. Yeah, or I just heard you say it. I thought it meant that something was very bad or something was very. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a moment.
I also used to do that.
Did you ever get in trouble or punished in a way?
Not punished, but they'd be like, you can't say that. And I'm like, you said it. And they're like, yes, but you can't say that. And I was a very obedient kid. So I was like, okay. I wouldn't like say like, why not or whatever. I'd just be like, okay, I won't.
Yeah. That's understandable. I've heard, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I've heard people, this isn't necessarily an Asian thing, but I've heard people say that they get like their mouths washed out with soap.
Oh yeah.
Can you do that? When I think of it, I just
no.
Maybe I mean,
like
I don't
morally
think it's
or like
unreasonable.
physically?
Physically.
Oh.
Morals are out the door. Not that I believe that it's okay to wash a kid's mouth with soap, but it's more like morals are out the door sometimes when you talk about Asian punishment.
Yeah.
I mean, in Singapore, this isn't really a parent thing, but don't they have the cane?
The cane?
You've never heard of the caning?
No, I don't think.
Well, then I will explain to you off the record.
Okay.
I don't think our audience, if you want to know, you can look it up, but I don't think our audience needs this in this episode. It's a lot.
Okay.
It's a punishment that the government will give.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's talk about slang some more.
Talk about some popular slang today.
Yeah. I guess another slang, I don't even know if this is slang. I guess it falls under the category, but Filipino people do this thing where it's like when someone says guess what and the other person replies chicken butt. It's like the same type of saying, like weird comeback, I guess. the Filipino version is that someone would be explaining something and the other person says, huh? And the person would try to, it depends who like says what, but the other person would probably try to re-explain themselves. And the person replies with hot dog. Because basically like you say ha and hot dog like sounds like ha more. But yeah, it's just ha, hot dog, kind of like guess what, chicken butt type thing. Yeah, just like a snarky way to throw someone off when they're like explaining something. It's very funny.
Oh, damn.
It's not funny like to the person, but like let's say Tiffany was explaining something in great detail and I just went, huh? And then she like tried to explain it again and I just went, hot dog.
For some reason, this isn't exactly the same, but I'm getting reminded of people going, did I ask?
Oh yeah, it's like when you like say something and someone goes, when? And you're like, what do you mean when? Like it happened this time, and the person just goes, no, like when did I ask? That's essentially
Slap to the face.
Yeah.
I don't even know guess what chicken. I mean, I knew about it before you just mentioned it, but I don't know what the background of that saying is. I don't know why people said it.
Yeah, me
It
neither.
doesn't rhyme, does it? Really? I mean, I guess the chi sound kind of goes together and rounds out the phrase. But like, guess what? Chicken butt.
Yeah,
if you know, let us know.
Yeah. Where did guess what chicken butt come from?
Yeah. I would honestly kind of love it if it turned out to have centuries old history.
Yeah. Maybe it's like from like a show or something. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll have to wait for someone to tell us. Yeah.
What about you? Do you have any slang terms?
Menu. The thing with Chinese slang terms is that, and I mean, you've kind of had some of these in your Tagalog one, but I guess I can kind of split this into two sections. A lot of slang. So there's one section which I would say is integrated English or repurposing English, where sometimes people will take an English word and then they'll kind of change the meaning. Not necessarily drastically, but they'll change it a little bit so that it kind of matches, I guess, the message they're trying to make. Yeah, I'll put it that way. So, for example, the term high in English, someone would think a place that's high up in the air, a high standard.
Yeah.
Or high as in
yes.
when you're high on something.
Yes.
Like a drug. And so I'm going to be talking about the latter. Well, not in the context of Chinese people using it, but when someone says I'm high or something's very high or whatever, they would think that they mean something drug related. However, Chinese people have repurposed high to mean something super excited or exciting, and I mean, I guess it kind of works because when someone is talking about being high, depending on, I guess, what they're using, they are in a sense very excited or in this elevated state. But anyway, Chinese people, they use it to describe like being excited, or to be like, oh wow, this party is so high, or like, wow, I'm feeling high right now, like, come on, let's go. And so there's actually a funny story about this. A famous singer, Jay Cho, during his, I think it was his daughter's birthday or something like that, or maybe it was his birthday, he had this little outdoor kind of concert fun thing with his family. And he said that his kids were very high. And the weird thing is that you wouldn't think that there would be a misunderstanding because, I mean, he's popular internationally as well. But I wasn't expecting that there was a misunderstanding, but people were saying, so he is one of those celebrities that would maybe write a caption in Chinese and then in English. And so people were confused for some reason. I mean, I understand, but I also don't. Why he was saying that his kids were very high. That sounds kind of it sounds very concerning. What do you mean your kids were high at the first day thingy? What did you do to them? And I remember, I'm pretty sure there was a Neck Shark article about this because of the confusion. And I was just like, wait, obviously it's not just Chinese people in the J-Cho, but what is going on here? Why does everyone think? All right. Yeah. You have phrases like that in Tagalog? I mean, it's maybe you do because it's not necessarily a very individual thing for Chinese people to do.
I'm sure there are instances like that, but none that I can think of the top of my head right now. But
okay, no worries.
That's so funny. My kids were so high.
Yeah. It probably would have been worse if maybe it was in a video interview or something like that. But yeah, it's just it's like in the captions. I don't even know what's going on there. But yeah, it's cultural context is important. And then moving on to the next section is internet slang or text. And again, this isn't exactly 100% original to Chinese people, but abbreviations, acronyms are huge. People, when they're writing, or I guess texting, I mean, they could send a string of just letters. And you might think it's a keyboard smash if you're an outsider. But no, that is a well-engineered, structured, edited, binded thought. And people, the way they go about doing this is they'll take the first letter. So let's just say that you're trying to say, wow, this is so funny. And you take the first letter of each of those words. Wow, this is so, and they will take the first letter and then they'll just send that and people will understand it because the thing with writing or texting in Chinese is that there's the pinyin or romanization keyboard, there's the handwriting keyboard, there's this super fancy, I don't know how to use it. I kind of want to learn, but there's this keyboard where it's called something no, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm not going to make up a name by accident. But some people, this is kind of interesting, but some people, they will have this keyboard that's literally brush strokes. And you have to remember the stroke. I don't know how people can begin to do that, especially just off the top of your head.
Dang.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with internet slang, but I was giving background context. So the romanization keyboard. More and more people, I would say probably young people, are using the romanization keyboard. And the thing with the romanization keyboard is that you don't necessarily have to write the entirety of a word romanization in order for a Chinese character to show up. So there are many instances where if it's just a rather short phrase, then someone will write the first letter of each word, and then the keyboard will populate search results for you, and you will get the filter on, not filter, why did I say that? You will get the word that you were looking for, or the phrase that you were looking for. Like if you were saying, this is very cool, and you wrote TIVG, for, let's just say that, and then it will come up. And so I guess people now, or not necessarily like right this year, but people have just started sending the unfinished or the just the first letters as text.
Dang.
And it's funny because it really does kind of look like a keyboard smash if you don't know what it means and if you're not aware of Chinese internet slang. Because for example, there's XSWL, which is a pretty old school one. 消失我了, which means like, I guess it's the Chinese equivalent to LMAO. Yeah. Which you could argue that it's not that uncommon or out of the ordinary, and it's not necessarily. It's just because of the popularity or reliance that people have on the pinyin keyboard. Because in a way, English people also use abbreviations a lot, or those shortened words. And I don't know, maybe it's just the structure or the order of the letters from texts that I've gotten and that I've seen where it doesn't look normal. It looks like a keyboard smash, or a very intentional keyboard smash, like a 4-letter keyboard smash. Like, oh, what were you trying to say there? Yeah, stuff like XSWL or NSDD, which is 你说的对, which means you're right. That's like what you said was correct. R1. Oh, and another thing, this isn't necessarily text, but numbers. Because things, sometimes the way a certain number is pronounced, it sounds like a word. There's so many. This has been going on since back when people used pagers, I think, in China, where people will send numbers and it will be like a whole sentence or a whole phrase.
Dang.
It's very interesting.
Next level.
Yeah, kind of like, you know how, this is a rather simple example, but you know how they say, I think it's in Thai, writing 5 multiple times sounds like ha. Yeah, so it'd be like ha ha ha. So Chinese people, they have like all these multiple, like millions of combinations of numbers that can mean something. For example, 520 Wu Er Ling sounds like 我爱你, sounds like I love you.
Oh.
Yeah, or something like 990 求求你, which means like I'm begging you, like please, or something. And it's interesting because, I mean, people have always kind of made this joke about texting, but it's almost like you're writing in code.
Yeah.
Especially if you're using numbers.
Yeah.
Imagine. This is a strange hypothetical, but you know, sometimes parents, they might look through a kid's phone.
Yeah.
Because they're suspicious of something, or they got grounded. Imagine opening your kid's phone and it's just a bunch of like you're looking through text to see what kind of things they say to their friend, or what kind of influence their friends have on them. And they open the conversation, the chat history, and it's all numbers. They just send numbers back and forth. You're like, what is this cryptic messaging? Almost as cryptic as the list that we got earlier.
Yeah, it's intimidating to look at. Just like the text like that your kid's sending is just like numbers.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know what I would think. I don't know what I would start to assume if that was me.
Just silently put the phone down and not want to look at the phone ever again.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, I have no idea what I just looked at. And I don't know if I want to ask.
Like, this is not worth asking anymore. Well, besides that weird list that we didn't really add, that weird like hacked list, we did have a handful of very specific sayings and slang terms. And we are definitely missing a lot. So we actually need you guys to help us with that.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a whole list. I don't know what happened to our original list.
Yeah.
The thing about our backup list is that it wasn't a backup copy of the original list. It was a backup list of alternative ideas. This episode would have been extremely different had we found.
Yeah. Our
I don't know
true
what
list.
happened to the original list. I don't know why it got stolen and then replaced by this evil creature.
Yeah. And he apologized too. Like,
Yeah.
weird.
Why would you I mean, not like you can't apologize, but it's like pick one side.
Yeah. Like, why did you get rid of our list? Possibly insult us and then say sorry. I mean,
Very rude.
yeah. But yeah, we do need your guys' help to maybe share some of your favorite sayings, things that we missed.
In order to help us even recover a fraction of the original list, we're going to need you to share some of your favorite sayings or some of your least favorite sayings, some of your funniest sayings from your culture slash language. You text in random numbers. You write in an assortment of letters.
Mm-hmm. Do you get PTSD from a single word?
What word?
I don't even want to say it. I'm not threatening our audience.
That's truly my start shuddering again. Man. Please share any and all of that with us, just so we can salvage the list. And then we will release a follow-up episode with the original list.
Yeah. And maybe like an update of like what happened with the hacker or anything.
Yeah,
Maybe like you
if they
guys know.
messaged us,
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't
maybe
know
we
what
had
it
to
means.
bribe them,
Yeah.
got blackmailed,
Then apologize too.
Maybe they'll apologize again. I wonder if they're feeling any remorse.
Probably not.
I don't
Well,
know. And there's only one way to find out, and that is by ending this episode so we can edit it and post it. And then the hacker will see it, watch it, and write to us explaining their motive in a villain cartoon dialogue style,
yes.
where they explain their motives, their background, their childhood story that made them come up with this motive. And who knows, maybe in that childhood story they'll tell us some parent thing. I wonder. Or maybe they'll just say I'm sorry.
God. It's like the list.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's time. You know what that means. Thank you for tuning in today. As always, whether you are a new listener, a returning listener, we appreciate it all. And we 100% appreciate your cooperation in allowing us to share Asian parent sayings and also helping us deal with our conflict with the hacker. We do have to cut the episode here so we can upload it and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then our podcast may be doomed. And I don't know about you, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really want
I want
that.
that. Yeah. I don't. What if they just start corrupting all of our files?
Yeah, adding weird lists,
And then
random
apologizing.
words.
Yeah.
Scary.
Well, yeah.
Very scary.
I know. I don't. It makes me feel uneasy. I don't know what to do. There's something the audience can do. Leave a comment down below. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea to tell them to just call them out or be aggressive, but how about encourage the hacker to speak up? Gently encourage them to talk to us.
Yeah,
Because we just want to have a chat. We just want to know what's going on. Why do you say that Asian parents say I love you?
I don't know.
I'm proud of you, and I'm sorry. Why? I don't know. Also, as we've been saying, please feel free to comment down below anything that you grew up hearing, anything that you thought meant one thing, but maybe they meant something else. Or did you? I'm actually pretty interested in knowing if anyone else has had the experience of constantly being taught an idiom and then it going into this huge tangent and then you forget it the next day. I want to know if this has happened to you and what word. Tell me the tangent. I want to know.
Yeah.
Give me the rundown of the history.
If you guys like this episode and want to stay connected with us, check out our website in the description. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and more. Follow us for more behind the scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.